An everyday spacer.
I'm Jeff Miller, 2049 Outfitters.
At Everyday Spacer, we show regular folks how to personally and directly participate in space exploration, science, and astronomy. We're here on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, 12 midnight Eastern Time, and 12 noon on Saturday in Hong Kong. We're broadcasting live from Thousand Oaks, California. Last week's trivia question was, what's the largest mass a brown dwarf can be? And we found out from this wiki page over here. You've got at the top there, it says 13 to 80 times that of Jupiter.
Right.
Oh, go ahead and read it, because that's an interesting thing about it's between the sun and...
Well, they measure brown dwarfs in Jupiter masses. So MJ is mass of Jupiter. And it's basically how big can it get before it sustains helium fusion in its core. And now we've seen two numbers.
Yep.
80 and...
Well, it says 13 to...
Well, 13 to 80 is the size, is what they call a brown dwarf.
Right.
So I guess anything less than 13 times the size of Jupiter is just a really big gas giant.
Yeah.
But 13 times the size of Jupiter up to 80, according to one spot in the same Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Versus, where is it here?
60 to 90.
These are the high mass brown dwarfs. High mass brown dwarfs go from 60 to 90. So the top size of a brown dwarf, according to who you ask, is somewhere between 80 and 90.
Right.
So there it is.
All right. Thanks so much. So tonight's topic is backyard worlds, cool neighbors. We'll be back in 8.3 seconds. We are back to the Brown Dwarf Project on Zooniverse because there is still plenty to do. Either they oopsed while they were working on the page, or they added more subjects to work on. It looks like a good project, so let's see what Jeff can tell us. I see some comments though, so we'll take a look at those first. We're talking about backyard worlds, cool neighbors. Hi, Janie Becker.
Yeah, so she says, hey, Jeff and Pam and Everyday Spacers. Excited to hear more as we batten down the hatches for Hurricane Hillary. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, one of the articles that I saw said that Death Valley might become a lake.
Which it basically is, except that it's dry.
It's a dry lake.
Bed lake, yeah. Hey, Cliff, welcome.
Hey, Cliff. Perfect blue skies blowing a gale.
All righty then.
Just solder down the telescope and you should be fine.
Hey, Dawn, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. You ready to share screen?
Sure.
All right, well, we'll do that right now.
Okay, and here we are. Let me get that a little bit bigger. Backyard world, cool neighbors. Okay, so they're searching for brown dwarfs, and it's going to be looking like this, but there'll be motion, so you're looking for things moving. And we'll get into that more of the why brown dwarfs would be moving a little bit later. But
sounds a little bit like the blink comparator work.
Right, except that, this is like you're looking for something literally moving, not just blinking back and forth. So,
oh, I see. So it's going to, okay.
Visible movement, yeah.
Good to know. All right, cool.
So if you look at this, they don't give a percentage anymore right here, but it does say 0% complete. And given that they've got 51,000 subjects and only 2 are completed, yeah, that's probably close to 0%.
There's probably plenty to do still.
Yeah. And, the normal stuff, brown dwarfs are balls of gas that never became stars, that have masses between stars and planets.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, the mass thing.
Yeah. And, you know what? Let me go back to, this is a good image right there. There you go. Earth, Jupiter, brown dwarf, a low mass star. So this is this like the smallest red dwarf that can actually sustain fusion.
Mm.
And that's our sun up there.
Wow. Okay. So definitely between
Yeah.
a large gas giant, which is huge compared to the Earth.
Yep.
But much smaller than the sun still.
Yeah.
That's a great image.
Yeah. So they're using the Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, or WISE,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, if we find anything, they're going to be scheduling it on the James Webb.
Oh, very cool.
And this is, they called this an expansion of, and I think we talked about this sometime in the past,
Mm-hmm.
Backyard World's Planet 9, looking for a ninth planet. Oh, we've got.
We have some more comments. Hello, Andrew. Pretty quick. I always look for the steady angle, and brown dwarfs are pretty good candidates for civilization. First of all, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. I think this is the first time we've talked to you. Scott, hello. Welcome back, and we really appreciate you all being here. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I don't know about civilization on a brown dwarf, but, could be. They've certainly been around a while,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if they produce enough energy to produce the critters that will become, intelligent life. So.
Oh, and Andrew comes back with civilization. Before, a long time ago, I was here. Oh, you were? Okay.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying so.
Yeah. Okay. But this is totally different from Planet 9, because with Planet 9, they were taking random shots of the sky looking for, a ninth planet possibly in there. And they were on the track of where it might be. With this one, they've got an AI looking for things that look like they're moving.
Mm.
And then just showing us those. So this is a much more targeted.
Well, on Planet 9 would have been way closer too. Oh, Andrew comes back and says they're quiet and well-behaved stars, not as sterilizing as larger, hotter stars. Good point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. So that's, kind of somewhat about it. Now here's the about. Now here's one of the really nice things about this project. In fact, they've got a boatload about brown dwarfs on here.
Oh, cool.
And they talk about it. And this link here, brown dwarfs here, is that wiki page that I showed you over here.
Ah.
And quite frankly, there's enough stuff here, plus their links, to do an entire show just on brown dwarfs, which I'm thinking of doing.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Right?
A nice crunchy topic. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Good.
So this will just be on this, the citizen science project to find them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'll go into more detail on what they are, because that's just neat to me.
Oh, Tex, you're always welcome. Thanks for joining us. Haven't been on board. I know you keep getting called away.
Yeah.
So glad you're here.
Yeah. Okay, so, they're looking for them. They're only going to be looking for nearby ones, because they're so faint that we won't be able to really see far ones.
So nearby, give us a.
I think under
6 or something.
I think under 10 light years.
10 light years or closer. Okay.
I mean, I saw 6 light years, but I don't know if that was the edge of where they're looking or just an example of far one, of far.
All right.
So now one of the things is, if you do nothing else but go to this page, and I don't know how well it shows up, secondhand going through your monitor, go to this page, look at this image, because they've done something and it looks very 3D.
Yeah, you want to grab the link and add it to the.
It's egg shaped here, but it looks really nice. Whoever came up with this made a really good job of making it look 3D. So yeah, where's this link?
Just for the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is to the about, but you can get at the rest of the project from it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
There
Jeff.
it is.
And that should be clickable as we've added it into the chat there.
And if it's not, copy pasted, aren't they?
Yeah.
But that's just a really neat image. So if you do nothing else, go to this page and do that. And finding examples of white dwarfs, the coldest known class of brown dwarf, probably means it's the smallest, but and this, and then again, they're
yes, Janie. She says it's a good image for Halloween season.
Yeah. Yeah, just make a face in there, right? But there are a lot of different classifications of brown dwarf. So it's just basically looks like a bunch of different objects that are just grouped together simply because they're bigger than Jupiter and they haven't created sustained fusion. And they make the distinction of sustained fusion because one of the things that I think is really neat is on the upper end. They have enough gravity to initiate fusion, but then the heat makes it expand enough that the fusion stops.
Yep.
So they might pulse with some kind of regularity.
They blow themselves
fusion,
out.
And then
whiff,
and then it cools down enough to fuse again. I mean, that they don't really talk about those. But that's something that I want to see. That's something because that's like just on the edge of, it's kind of like a stove that just won't quite light. It's going click, 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 click. Or a car that's the start is just not quite doing it.
Yeah, and while Jeff's doing that, I'm going to talk about how, like with our sun, it will balance itself out. It doesn't blow itself out when it's because there's this tug and pull between gravity bringing it together and the heat pushing it apart. So in a star like the sun or any of the other stars that have remained in basically on fire, they have this kind of equilibrium they've reached. And even like at the end of the life of our sun, it will in fact just get too much. It won't be able to fuse as much anymore, and so it'll just kind of expand and get red dwarf. I think is the ultimate.
Oh, Scott.
Oh, hi. Hey, Scott. Imagine living on a planet around a pulsing brown dwarf. It would be stressful.
Well, nothing would basically blow off of it. I think it would just get bright and inflate and then get dimmer and dimmer again.
And Cliff says Jupiter was taken in infrared.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I remember that image by the James Webb Space Telescope. Yeah, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of spooky, but so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and I remember Saturn taken in infrared, and Saturn was dark, but the rings were bright because methane absorbs infrared, so the planet itself looked dark.
Yeah. Right. You ready to go back to? Okay. Here we go.
Okay. So, they used machine learning algorithms to identify a number of locations across the WISE database. So they're not shooting new images. They're just taking images that currently exist, which reusing, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of these get repurposed for a variety of projects. And it seems pretty typical now. We are, in fact, dealing with machine, computers recognizing things, but not doing a great job of it. So having people as well as the computers work together.
Yeah, and they say here, these algorithms can be tricked by artifacts like detector noise and diffraction spikes. So the most efficient way to vet these potential brown dwarf candidates is by utilizing the power of citizen science to analyze huge amounts of data in a short amount of time.
Oh, that's so fabulous. So you can make a real difference with this one, it sounds like.
Yeah. Now here's why should we care about brown dwarfs? They talk a lot about what brown dwarfs are, but they don't actually answer their own question about why we should care.
It might be a good topic for the forum.
Yeah. Well, Andrew already put his 2 cents in about why we should care. To me, I think they're interesting. They add a little bit more mass to the mass anomaly equation.
Mm-hmm. But there's still
not a lot.
Still a huge deficit.
Right. And quite frankly, if we ever think of interstellar flight, we kind of want to know how to spot these darn things.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be one heck of a bad day. If you're
they're not very bright, so you don't want to mash into them by accident.
Well, they are.
You make a good point.
They are hot, and the interesting thing is that they're not hot from fusion. They're hot just because, as it spun together, everything heated up, and it's big enough that it's still hot. X billion years later, it's still hot. It's still radiating heat from its initial creation.
So maybe an infrared detector would be good.
Yeah.
Or several, depending on wavelengths.
Or visible light. Because if you're heading toward it, won't it be blue shifted?
Is that the one? Toward its blue?
Mm-hmm.
I can never remember.
I guess that's just something to figure out. But yeah, let us know if anyone else hasn't. I mean, aside from it's neat and it'll add to what we know about things, and especially if they find, the super big brown dwarfs that are not quite, sustaining fusion, because it could tell us something about what kicks off a star if they can watch it several times.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we find out things we had no idea. It's like, oh, surprise! Oh, cool. Here we go.
So there's the WISE detector that took all of the shots.
It's a great image. I think it's artwork, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I don't think you can see the asteroid belt in any kind of shot that would have WISE and the Earth in it. Okay, so brown dwarfs are rare compared to normal main sequence stars and galaxies. Even image artifacts, brown dwarfs are very rare. Well, okay, brown dwarfs that we can see because they're very faint. WISE has detected billions of galaxies and normal stars, but probably only a few thousand brown dwarfs.
Oh, no kidding.
To discover a new brown dwarf, you'll likely need to look through roughly 100 to 500 flip books.
Oh, so that's what they're calling it. Okay, that's neat.
Yeah. Approximately 10% of our flip books contain previously discovered moving objects to help you get a sense for what a real mover will look like and to help our research team understand the accuracy of classifications that we receive. So they've salted the data with ones with known hits, basically to see if people will find them.
Okay.
And that's good. I mean, test the accuracy of the people.
Yeah.
So basically, if some of the real ones don't get spotted, then they'll know that even when they were done with their data, there still might be brown dwarfs in there. So proper motion of celestial bodies. Brown dwarfs are cold and dim. And this is a much better tutorial than the actual tutorial. So we'll go through this because this is better than the tutorial.
Cool.
Is that because of parallax, and I'll just paraphrase this, because of parallax, things that are closer move relative to the things that are distant.
Yep. And you see this when you're driving a car. The things along the side of the road, they move quite fast, and then things farther away, a little bit slower, and mountains in the distance barely seem to move at all for quite a while. Right.
And so they're using this because they know that any brown dwarfs that we spot are going to be closer than most stars.
Okay.
So they're going to be moving relative to the stars just because the sun is moving. And that's what this is doing. The sun is moving, therefore they're looking for.
Yeah, and I think the orbit of the Earth around the sun is part of this.
Yeah, but
it's factored into.
It's not factored into this one.
Oh, it's not.
It was using the Earth's orbit to look for the Planet 9.
Okay.
They were looking for even closer things.
Yes.
I mean, this they're looking for arc seconds, which is 1/36,000th of a degree.
Yeah.
So think about that. That's how they're measuring these. In fact, Bernard's star, which they have on here in a loop right here. This is Bernard's star. This is the closest red dwarf that we have. It's 6 light years away.
And apparently it is going to eventually be closer than Alpha Proxima Centauri. Excuse me.
But if you notice, this is how it moves relative to the background stars. So we're looking for something like this.
Cool.
And they give the equation about, how far away something is based on how much it moves. And they talk about parallax, which this movement is different from parallax because this is just our sun moving in a straight line. Parallax is our Earth in orbit around the sun.
Okay.
And they measure that in milliarc seconds.
Even smaller.
Yeah, 1,000 times smaller.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best tutorial that we can have for the project. Right there.
That image.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, the tutorials
That's
leave
fine.
something to be desired.
That's fine.
Temperature and color. Light emitted by an object is due to its temperature is known as black body radiation. And so all stars, their color is based on how hot they are, and sometimes what their mineral range is. And I think we covered in a previous show a while back the fact that there are no green stars.
Yeah.
And okay.
Kind of fascinating.
Look that one up. I'm not going to explain it again because it's a little bit in depth as to why that is. Although I suppose with the right redshift, a blue star could look green, but that'd be an artifact of the redshift. Okay, and so there we go. They talk about this, but quite frankly, this wiki is awesome. So let's go back up to the team, and lots of people involved.
I think those are some of the citizen science people.
Yeah, these are citizen science people who.
That first collage.
Yeah. And then here are the interns. This is
pretty good sized team.
This is a security researcher, so go Geek Squad. Sorry, I'm in IT. And here are collaborators. And so a lot of people involved in this. And the people along the side are involved in Zooniverse itself. And here's the FAQ. Why do we call them cool neighbors? Because they're they're hot compared to a planet, but cold compared. Now, one of them, I just saw an article somewhere, and I don't know where it is. They found a brown dwarf that's hotter than the sun. How do you get this? Well, it's orbiting a white dwarf.
So it's like a binary set.
Yeah. It's orbiting a white dwarf so close that it's basically being heated up by the white dwarf.
Yeah, and we see that with Jupiter. Some of its moons get that kind of an effect because they're just close enough. And is it gravity then, basically?
Well, Jupiter's gravity.
Jupiter's
around
gravity,
the white dwarf is just radiated.
Okay. All right.
Heating. Could be gravity also, but it's. In fact, they've got a bunch of, super Jupiters out there, hot Jupiters that they talk about that are really close to their star. Same thing. It's just basically getting roasted by its sun. But most of the ones, since we're looking for ones in interstellar space, aren't going to have that. In fact, I don't think that this project could even find one that's near a star. Because it'll be held near the star. So what's the difference between these two? We talked about that already.
Wait, let me go back.
That's good.
Doing my job. Finally.
Yeah. So what's the difference between this project and Planet 9? Well, we already talked about that. What do brown dwarfs look like? They might look like Jupiter or even have a purple-red glow.
Oh, yeah. We saw the artist image of the one on the
Mhm.
wiki page.
Yeah. However, because they're so small and emit so little light, very hard to detect. How often will I discover a brown dwarf?
Yeah.
One every 100 and 500. So don't do this expecting to find one. However, there's a classifier. I think I found a mover. What should I do now? They fill out their submission form as the discoverer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
so it sounds like you get credit for discovering.
Yeah. If it's not already in the
brown
database, I
dwarf.
think you get credited as its discoverer. So
That's pretty cool.
It's panning for gold here. You might hit one every 100 to 500.
Yeah.
And if you're the first one
Whew.
in the database, then you.
Nice. A little bit like comet hunting, only even more rare.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
And they talk about how to use the reporting databases and stuff.
This is the FAQ you said.
Yeah,
okay.
This is in the FAQ.
Okay, you're still there. Good.
Yeah. Determining between artifacts and objects. They're looking for things that move. It just pulsates like this. It's something else, not a brown dwarf. Diffraction spikes. Well, that's there for a while. That's a diffraction spike. It's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Crowded fields.
Something's moving there.
Yeah. Basically, yes, there is a mover there. It's just hard to find because of all the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably a good example of something that you might find. Oh, here's another. Why do we care about brown dwarfs? Maybe they'll answer it this time. Brown dwarfs are the link between star formation and planet formation. Okay.
You kind of mentioned that.
Yeah. They have physical characteristics with overlap both. Counting their number and determining their masses, we can learn about how stars, planets, and galaxies form. Cool brown dwarfs are especially handy because we use them as analogs to exoplanets. They're the same size as Jupiter. No, they're not. They're 13 times bigger. And sometimes the same temperature as Jupiter or even Earth. They are far easier to study than exoplanets because they do not orbit bright stars. Oh, that would overwhelm them with glare. Consequently, we can get very detailed information about their atmospheres. There we go. That's that. This is what should have been in the about right there.
Well, again, you could bring it up in the forum. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like this kind of thing and you delve in and really learn stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah. How many brown dwarfs? Anywhere between several hundred and 1,000 new brown dwarfs. They think are in the images.
Wow.
To be found.
Needle in the haystack.
There are approximately 3,000 discovered to date brown dwarfs.
Oh, there's the different types.
They might go, and they're all based on how hot they are.
Hey, Daniel's here. Hey, Daniel. I think it's a polka song called Little Brown Dwarf. No kidding. Thanks for being here and sharing that.
Don't think they're talking about protostars though. Just saying. So I think, the numbering system is based off of the heat of the star. And again, that's covered in the wiki much more thoroughly. They talk about several of the classifications too.
Okay.
What's the closest known brown dwarf? There's Proxima and Alpha, Bernard star, which is a red dwarf, and then these which just have Weiss numbers.
Thanks, Daniel. You said Little Brown Jug is actually the name of the song.
Okay. What's the slowest moving object we can detect with Weiss data? 2.75 arc seconds per 10 years.
Wow.
Or 0.275 arc seconds per year.
Phew.
That's 1 pixel.
Okay. So 10 years is a good span to look for these things, apparently, because it actually seems to move.
Right, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's the closest star to our sun, Proxima.
Proxima Centauri, right?
how do I convert between Gaia, parallax? Gaia is a database that has a whole bunch of moving objects in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Parallax and distance from the solar system. And they actually talked about this in the about. Its distance is in parsecs is 1,000 divided by the parallax in milli arc seconds. So this is a reason to have parsecs, just for this.
Okay.
Otherwise, why the heck do we need another way of measuring distances that's just like 2 to 3 light years? I mean, that's a parsec. I think it's like 2.3.
I thought it was 2.65 or
something like
3.65.
Something in there, but in any case.
Well, so instead of saying billions and billions, you can say just
it's
1 billion.
It's like doing astronomy in both metric and imperial. It's like, why? One's good. Yeah, you can use one. But there you go.
Okay.
That's why they use parsecs.
Okay.
It's because it goes in cleanly with milli arc seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that, so that's pretty cool, actually.
Okay, and here's the field guide.
You're really making us wait here.
Yeah. Well, quite frankly, it's actually finding the things, doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Yeah, if you got to go through 100 to 500 to find one.
Yeah. So here's a good example of something that's moving.
So this is the interesting part.
Yeah.
Okay,
no, that's not a lot of movement.
No, it's not.
But that's a mover. Or something like this, which is actually moving more.
Yeah.
There's something you might not be able to see it on your screens, but I can see it here. It's very faint, but it's moving. So that is what you're looking for.
All right.
And artifacts and ghosts, things like this. Oops.
They're not actually moving across the screen, basically.
Right, yeah.
Okay. There's a direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Latent.
Huh.
If you notice, this isn't really moving. It's something that's kind of...
Maybe tumbling?
Yeah, it's not... Yeah.
It looks like the explore this example might help you out too. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks different than the moving thing.
Artifact. Okay, so it's just missing frames. But if you can see, just with the frames that are there, there's not anything really moving there. And you think you found a super interesting. And this is the form right here in the field guide.
Nice.
And then these are the databases that hold, objects that move. So if you want to check that out.
Well, that's kind of exciting. You could, with a lot of effort, find something that could be helpful to them. Oh, here we go. Here's the project.
And here's the tutorial. Welcome to Backyard. These are time lapse of potential brown dwarf candidates. Yep.
Do they talk about how many frames this might be?
I know. You can see it down here.
Okay.
They don't actually say much in the tutorial.
Yeah. And they might be different for different.
This is another example of a mover.
Wow, that really is.
Right. Well, they're probably zoomed in pretty good too.
Okay.
And there's a not it.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel says if it were moving directly toward you or away, would that be undetectable?
Likely.
Yeah, I mean that's what they teach pilots.
Yeah. In fact,
to watch for things that aren't moving.
Even if it's close to moving to and away from you, it might be moving. The angular movement might be too little to see. So,
yeah, but I don't know that you're going to be able to really tell them in this task, right?
Right. No.
Yeah.
So we just won't detect it because, it's not like we're seeing a star there. We're seeing a couple pixels that are moving. And in fact, we don't even necessarily know that it's a brown dwarf. Just it's something for them to point, something for them to point James Webb at.
Okay.
And then, so they give you examples of two things that that are and one that isn't. And now they say, go get started. Well, okay. Great tutorial, guys. Great tutorial. You know, oh, look, these are your answers, no or yes. Yay. Now you're ready to go.
Alrighty then.
And here's some actually somewhat interesting information. This is the database that they're getting these images out of.
All right.
But so here it is.
So it sounds like you're not going to find too much. However, if you do, you may be named as the person who discovered it. So.
Right, yeah. So here it is. And here's this. This is what.
Oh, and you can speed it up or slow it down. It looks like on the bottom there.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
4.
I see. Yeah, so you can count the frames, but they're probably different per.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't see anything moving here.
No.
Nothing's changing position really.
And no is what we're expecting.
Yeah.
Actually.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames.
10 frames. Okay.
My guess.
They don't tell you how many years that might be.
No.
How much time?
They don't.
Okay.
My guess is that this is 10 years.
Okay.
But it's only my guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's not yes.
Okay. Here's another one. Now, it doesn't remember that you want it to go forward, so you have to tell it to go forward. And it's supposed to be centered, so you don't have to really worry about the outside edges.
Oh,
although I look at the outside edges too.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of scan the whole thing. And...
Right. But this is the area that they want you to focus on right here.
Okay, supposed to
be. But
again,
again, no.
No.
And that's what.
So I hit the. Some interesting.
Yeah, no. You see, that's what this project mostly is. You know, they say that 100 to 500 of these to actually find one. So.
Whew. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I would still call it a no.
Right. Yeah. It's not. You know.
Yeah. So they're going to need a lot of help because there's a lot here that's not.
And this is all stuff that their AI said.
Result.
Yeah, this is all stuff that their AI said might be.
Oh, interesting. So the AI is already sifted out.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of yes and probably not.
Yeah. But they're
so it did a pre-sort for you.
Yeah, they're erring on the side of inclusion, though, because they don't want to miss one.
All right.
And that's why they're asking for us to clean up their stuff.
Yeah, I'd say no on that one, too.
Yeah, no surprise.
No surprise. Well, good. If you want something kind of mindless and quick, this could be your project.
I just keep doing this just in the hopes that, hey, maybe we'll find one live, you know.
Because if you do say yes, I wonder, is there anything else to it, or is it just no, yes?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming they take you to the form to fill out.
Okay. All right. That could be.
But, you know, it'd be nice to be able to hit one and and do that. I don't want to mess up their data just by saying yes, just to see what happens.
Yeah, but most of these have a number of people looking at them, so
right.
You're not going to really mess up too much. It's just,
I know, it's just.
We're drunk.
Yeah. You know, or hit the wrong button, did we?
Scott says, I wonder if you find one, you can name it. Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, it sounds like you can certainly get the credit for it.
Yeah.
Now, are they naming brown dwarfs? I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody in our audience can tell us.
Yeah, because the ones that they spotted are Y's and then a number.
Oh.
So.
If these were NFTs, how much Bitcoin would they be worth? Don't know that area very well.
On.
Ooh, did you find one?
I don't know.
You got kind of a mover there.
It's just kind of one. I don't think so. because it moves one tick and then doesn't move ever again.
No.
Yeah, so that's a no.
Yeah, probably not.
Got all excited for nothing.
So you go here to help and maybe a little glory.
Yeah.
Maybe not though.
You're basically hunting for gold.
You're a brain instead of a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, panning for gold. I like how you said that before.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's a different kind of image, but
Yeah.
Same result. I'm not seeing anything.
No.
Seeing a bunch of random pixel movement, but nothing moving in a line. Okay.
Well, that's a scintillating project.
Yeah.
If you find one.
Brown dwarfs themselves are much more interesting than this project, I will say.
Oh, there's one of those spiky things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the diffraction spike, but nothing else actually.
Diffraction spike, that's the term, yes. Oh. Ooh, looky there. You found one.
Remember, 10% are going to be known goods. So.
Right, yes.
So, okay. Let's find out what happens.
I'm going to go with a yes on that one.
Yep.
Whoops. So, it's just yes, no, but I don't even, I guess you go to the field guide and well, where's in the field guide? Look at the field guide again to see. I wonder if you have to be on it to report it. Like, yeah, to report you found one. But again, it's probably one of the 10% that, I think you found a super interesting object. Okay. Let's see.
Yeesh.
Wow. Well, you can, control plus.
Yeah. Or no, I can't. Oh, that's alt. That's right, control. There we go.
You can use the browser too.
Okay, so how do I go back?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so, well, that's important to know. If you find one, don't click done.
Until you
go report it. And what does it say? It wants a number or something?
Yeah. Oops, not that. Here.
Oh, I see. You find the data. Where is that in the
object ID?
Get one open. See if you can find object ID anywhere in there.
Let's go to.
You got a bunch of icons on the bottom there. What's the
metadata? There we go.
There you go. All right.
So can't go back.
So sadly, you missed your shot, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, so.
However, if you're out there doing it, remember, check it out first, report it, then move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right. Well, this demonstration is worth it just for that, just to understand that part.
Yeah. Because done does not take you to the forum.
No.
Okay.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Well, now we know. All right.
I'm kind of pissed.
You'll be all right. So, did you want to try any more, or is there anything else to say about it?
No, I'm done now.
Well, okay. Thanks for playing. I'll talk about stellar events while you stew over there. How's that? And we're talking about August 18th, which is tonight, through August 25th. On the 18th, Mercury and the Moon are in conjunction, and Mars and the Moon are in conjunction, so they'll all be together. Let's see, where is it going to be? I didn't look it up. Oh, Daniel says the stars are mean.
The website is mean.
Just the project. August 19th, the moon is on the equator. August 21st, the moon is at descending node. On the 23rd, Mercury is stationary. The 24th is the first quarter moon. August 25th, we're back to our Friday night show. I'm going to do a part 2. Stick around to find out which one, though, because I got 2 that I need to finish. Find us Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the Everyday Spacer Facebook page and the Everyday Spacer YouTube channel.
Oh, quiet, Scott.
What were you going to name it? Aw. Man, you guys rub it in. Poor Jeff.
So mean. So mean to me.
It means I like you, honey. You know how it goes.
Like I don't think I ever do anything to deserve that sort of thing, do I?
You gonna do this part?
Oh, sure. Why the heck not?
This is how you're gonna know this is not, artificial intelligence in the future, because we're just kind of goofy. I don't think AI is ever gonna do that. Let's take some comments first, though. All right, so let's see. Janie Becker. I'm with Jeff. I don't like this one. Am I making mistakes like Edison entertaining? At least name it. Name it 2 done. The Star Lost. Well, thank you both.
Harlan Ellison's book that became a TV series.
Hmm?
Yes.
Oh, was that called The Star Lost?
Star Lost, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
In which he used his pen name for the TV series because he thought they did such a bad job of it that he didn't want his actual name on it.
What was the pen name? I forget.
Cornwander Smith.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or Cornwander Bird. Because it's his way of giving them the bird. Yeah. There we go. Daniel has it.
Oh, got it. Here. And Daniel even spelled it right, I bet. Look at that. Thank you so much. See, we got our own crowdsource here.
Because if he didn't put one of his names on it, he wouldn't get royalties. So he put a name on it that didn't use the name that everyone would know. And so he was giving them the bird. Got his royalties, but also didn't have his name on it.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, interesting project.
Grumble.
A little dull maybe, but could be fun. Could be interesting if you find something and you get to be the person who found it.
Okay. If you or someone you know has done something interesting involving space exploration, science, or astronomy, we'd love to share our live. Join us again next Friday, August 25th. Pam will demonstrate task 2 for checked spectral fits from Redshift Wrangler. Pam started that last week and we'll finish it next week.
And I want to give a shout out to Dawn Jenkins because she met with me today and we looked through it and two minds are better than one. And boy, it was really great. It's juicy. It's juicy. Unlike this one, there's a lot going on, a lot to work with, and it's really interesting too. Yeah. All right, so
and sometime in the near future, I'll do a show about brown dwarfs themselves.
Very cool.
Just because I think that they're fascinating.
Yeah.
So.
We know you like crunchy topics, so
yeah.
And Daniel comes back. Now I know the rest of the bird.
Yeah.
Is that a part of it too? I don't know. I don't know the story. All right. So again, thanks, Dawn, for working with me today. It's going to be a very interesting finish next week. I hope I can finish because it's hefty. There's a lot to task 2 of the Redshift Wrangler. Oh, hey, thanks so much, Cliff. Not on purpose, man. All right, tonight's trivia question. What is the largest observed redshift? Join us again next week. We'll answer and see if you got it right. Anything from you?
Nope.
Anything else from you? We will be watching afterwards as well. All right. Thank you so much, people. We really appreciate it. Oh, let's do a shout out. Love this part. Cliff, Daniel, Janie, Scott.
Dawn.
Dawn was here. I know Andrew was here. And
Tex.
Yay, Tex. Did you get to stay through the whole show? How awesome is that? And that, I think we got everybody.
Yep.
Thank you so much, folks. Have a really great week. And we're looking forward to seeing you next Friday. And yeah, that's it for now.
Yep.
Good night.
Bye-bye.